Welcome to Clarity Currents. I'm Danielle Laura, intuitive seer and spiritual advisor. Each week, I share grounded energetic transmissions and insights into the week ahead so you know how to work with the energy rather than in resistance to it and are equipped to create aligned momentum across your business, relationships, health, wealth, spirituality, and legacy. This is Clarity Currents episode for the week of February 9th through the 15th, 2026. Let's dive in. When I tune into the overall energetics of the week, I see a vision of this large doorway slowly closing behind you while another doorway in front of you unlocks and swings open. There is a very distinct feeling of a chapter closing and a chapter beginning happening simultaneously. This week carries the energy of emotional breakthroughs, deep releases, and powerful internal shifts that prepare you for a new level of responsibility, leadership, and identity. Earlier in the week, it feels like emotions may surface in waves, almost like tides that are coming in and out. But these emotions aren't random. They're literally revealing what has been out of alignment for quite some time, especially in areas that are related to your relationships, values, and the way that you have been structuring your life. Midweek, I see a sense of healing around identity, almost like the shedding of a skin that totally does not fit anymore. And then by the end of the week, the energy feels catalytic, but in a good way. I see this lightning bolt striking the ground, symbolizing sudden realizations, decisive action, or even a shift that propels you faster towards where you want to go than you were even expecting. So your invitation this week is to release what you've outgrown so that you can responsibly hold what you are becoming. Business for the week of February 9th. When I tune into the energetics of business this week, I see a vision of a person making something out of this hot metal, and they're shaping it carefully with all of these tools and patience, like a welder. And like each strike of the hammer is deliberate, it's rhythmic and purposeful. It's not rushed or chaotic. So this is a metaphor for the energy of business this week. It's less about speed and it's more about refinement. It's less about starting something brand new, and it's more about strengthening and shaping what already exists so that it can support greater expansion. You may find yourself revisiting processes that need tightening, offers that need refining, boundaries that need reinforcing, or even decisions that require maturity and long-term thinking. There's an energy of stepping into a new level of leadership and responsibility with what you are building. I also hear the phrase, mastery is forged through pressure. So if something feels challenging or requires more discipline this week, that's not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're being shaped into the next level of who you are meant to be in your work. The invitation here is to ask yourself, where am I being asked to strengthen the foundation of what I'm building so that it and I can hold more? Relationships for the week of February 9th. When I tune into the energetics of relationships this week, I see a vision of two people sitting across from each other at a table, speaking honestly, and then embracing afterwards. This is a week where conversations may feel emotionally charged, but they also hold the potential for deep healing and resolution. And some of these conversations may bring emotional release or realizations about what you truly need in order to feel supported, safe, and seen. Communication may feel a little foggy at moments. It looks like earlier in the week. So the guidance here is to pause before reacting and ask for clarity before jumping to conclusions. And by the weekend, I see profound transformation in relationships that are built on truth and this gentle dissolving or almost redefining of dynamics that are just no longer aligned. So the invitation is to consider how honesty creates freedom. Health for the week of February 9th. When I tune into the energetics of health this week, I see a vision of a river flushing out debris after this big storm. And this feels like a cleansing week, emotionally, mentally, and physically. You may notice stronger emotional releases, vivid dreams, or very deep sleep processing, the need for more rest or solitude, even sensitivity to environments or stimuli that maybe doesn't affect you on a normal basis. Your body is processing and integrating a lot right now. So the guidance here is to prioritize hydration and nourishment, allow extra rest without guilt, and move emotion through the body gently, like walking, stretching, breath work, acupuncture, somatic practices, whatever feels right for you. And I hear the phrase, let the body release what the soul has already outgrown. Wealth for the week of February 9th. When I tune into the energetics of wealth this week, I see a vision of a foundation being reinforced beneath a building. So this is less about some sudden financial gain, and it's more so the week about stabilizing and strengthening what supports your long-term abundance. So you may gain clarity around where money is flowing out unnecessarily, what investments of time, energy, or money truly support your future, and what structures will allow wealth to grow sustainably. There may also be decisions related to living situations, work environments, or even long-term financial planning that bring important clarity. The message here is that stability creates expansion. Spirituality for the week of February 9th. When I tune into the energetics of spirituality this week, I see a vision of a mirror being wiped clean, revealing this even clearer reflection underneath. This is a deeply spiritual week of releasing old identities and reconnecting with your truest self. Dreams may be vivid and even revealing. Intuitive nudges may feel stronger than usual. And you might even have moments of emotional release that carry powerful insights. So feel everything and pay attention to what repeats, because those are the messages. Practices that will be especially supportive this week are journaling or any sort of automatic writing practice, prayer or meditation, especially before sleep, priming your subconscious mind, time in nature, and even quiet reflections, especially ones without distractions. There's a profound guidance available this week if you slow down enough to receive it. And legacy for the week of February 9th. When I tune into the energetics of legacy this week, I see a vision of a person standing at the base of a mountain, looking up at this clearly marked path that was not visible before. There's a sense of realization that this is the way forward. This feels like the beginning of a new chapter internally, where you're seeing more clearly who you're becoming and what you're really and truly here to build. You may not be at the top yet, but the path is now visible, and that changes everything. The question to reflect on this week is, what version of me is required to walk this path? And then ask, what is one step I can take this week in that direction? There you have it, Hot Soul, your intuitive forecast for the week. Wishing you a week of deep release, powerful clarity, and courageous forward movement. Until next week.